So, yeah, I would like to bring up this tool exercise that it's you can use it if there's any difficulty in your life. It's very versatile. Let's say anything that bothers you, anything there's friction, anything that's suffering, you may not even know why that is. You don't need to know exactly. You can first need to determine what the item that you want to investigate. So it's an investigatory kind of process, and part of that investigation, there's some releasing of other things. So it's important to have an item. That item, so what I'm trying to investigate and discharge could be anything. Could be, let's say, okay, I have a pattern of procrastinating my bills, or I don't know, leaving things at the last moment, or you can have the belief that I'm not enough. That could be an item. I'm not enough, or that there's something wrong with me, or the pattern of lying, or not being vulnerable, or this recurring situation in my life that I attract a partner that is not interested or available to be with me. You know, I'm just giving you an example. Anything. Okay, let's say your situation. Let's say the item is like holding on to that situation. You know, holding on to that situation that happened. Yeah, so anyway, the idea is that you identify something you want to explore, and I will just explain briefly, and then we're going to do it. Yeah, we identify beforehand the item we want to explore, then we are going to go into a meditative space. You know, we're going to the laboratory, because otherwise we don't want just the mind dealing with the mind. So we want to have awareness dealing with the mind and the body. So we drop in a little bit in this present space. Then we bring up the item, meaning that, okay, let's say I welcome now this anything to do with this pattern of being resentful about this situation that happened, and I'm churning on it, or I don't know, assuming that that's what I want to look. So I'm present, and I kind of welcome anything to do with all that. Welcome images, memories, sensations, feelings about these judgments. So basically, I let it come here, let it be here. So we are not just investigating something abstract somewhere else. We need to bring it here. Yeah, so we first bring the issue that bothers us and let it be here as we are conscious. So we are not now trying to solve it or something, but just allow images, memories, connect to that, feelings, everything allowed, yeah? And let it be here. So it's stirred. Now, the exercise is pretty simple. They are just two questions, two inquiries, which are the same, that we are going back and forth, back and forth. The first question is like, I stay and I say, okay, what is one seeming advantage of holding on to that resentment, or what is one seeming advantage of attracting people and they're not available, for connection, or what is the seeming advantage of going into relationships with people I'm not attracted to? Anyway, I'm just giving an example, yeah? What is one seeming advantage of this? Don't accept your mind saying, oh, there's no advantage, it's fucked up, there's nothing good about that, because it's not true. There is some hidden utility of our suffering. We are getting some ego juice, some juice of some misery juice. So what is one seeming advantage of this issue? Don't think about it, just drop the question and then wait. And then wait, then some thought will come and say, well, it will say something, the mind will say something like, well, I get to I get to be right and I get to avoid intimacy and to be safe from being too close. Yeah. Now the mind says this, then the thing is like, okay, witness this thought and allow any thoughts, feelings, sensation, memories connected with this thought. Because when I say this, oh, I get to avoid intimacy, this may bring some more stuff. I welcome it and allow it, staying present until it calms down. So it's like, and if we don't get involved, we're just witnessing, allowing, it settles. Once it's settled, then stay a moment in that present space, and I go next question. What is one disadvantage of maintaining this pattern or this issue? What is one disadvantage or cost of that? We wait, the mind will say, well, I keep torturing myself with this thing. It's like, it's terrible and I'm never happy about it. Okay, seeing what the mind says and then allowing any thoughts, feelings, memories about that thought, letting it like, and witnessing and allowing, doing the best you can, not get lost in it, just, then until it settles a little bit, settles down. I go back to the first question again. What is another utility, another seeming advantage of maintaining that issue? Again, see what the mind says, make it conscious, welcome anything else that comes up until it settles down. Go back to disadvantage. What's another disadvantage? So this exercise actually was called A and D, advantages, disadvantages. And so the exercise is to go like this, back and forth, A and D, A and D. Don't do many utilities and many disadvantages all at once. It's useful, this transition between, oh, what do I get out of it? What do I lose out of maintaining this? So keep going back and forth. This is not just a cognitive behavioral therapy exercise. This is not just cognitive. So the idea is that the thought that comes, it may evoke some other stuff. You feel and allow witness. So we are not trying to, oh, I wonder, there's not cognitive. The questions are a trick to evoke more material. Although there's benefit of doing it even cognitively. Sometimes I have some clients that they are not, some people cannot do awareness-based somatic processing. They cannot, it's not possible. None of you here are the case, but some cannot do it. So I have to do, let's say, talk therapy, and doing the A and D process, even talking, it still helps in some way, but it goes much deeper if we include the body. So doing A and D, 4 or 5 cycles until, you'll see at some point, you're like, okay. So in this process, basically, we are bringing a lot of hidden components about that item, yeah, and bringing awareness to something. So that's part of the Sedona method. So that's something that it's very easy to do. I would say this will be cycle 1. Once we do this, we can do some other stuff, but we can stay with this one for now. Some other people like to do it, like to actually have a piece of paper, and then to draw a line in the middle, like this. Have A and D, and also you can put the item here. Whatever, being late, a habit of being late, yeah. And then some people like to do this. I personally don't like it, but I trust my teacher, and people like to do it to, to do one. What's one advantage of this, and see what comes, witness, allow, then write it down, go back in. What's the disadvantage? See what comes, witness, allow, welcome, write it down, go back in. For some people, this also goes from consciousness to mind to heart to the hand and the paper. That's kind of adds to this. I also have, I think, a YouTube video where I'm doing this experientially, straight up, where I invite people to already bring their item, but we can do it now for a few minutes. So I invite you to come up with something that you want to explore, whatever that is, either a belief or a pattern or some shitty situation that keeps happening. Just think of something. Yeah, so it's important to identify what that is. Yeah, everybody has something. Yeah. Okay. All right. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to do it like this without anything. So, all right. Let's take some time to first drop in. Yeah, it's fine to lie down or anything you need to do. So letting go of the item for now and just becoming more conscious, watching the breathing. Noticing thoughts, yet not getting involved. Welcoming, allowing any energies in the body. And notice this sense of aware background or screen-like space in which thoughts and feelings appear as images. Or so in this space, I would like you to welcome here that item that bothers you, whatever that is, a pattern, behavior, limiting belief, anything at all. So welcome that here and allow any memories connected to that, how it played out and how shitty it is, and like welcome any thoughts or judgments or emotions about that, like I'm so tired of this, I'm fed up, I tried this, it's still here. So just welcome the issue, welcome your dissatisfaction or happiness about it, allowing them to be here consciously. And see where it lives more in your body. Notice that area. Welcome that energy. Yeah, so what is one, and I'll ask you this question, and this is not irrational, so don't think about it rationally. You just see whatever pops up in your head, no matter how weird. What is one seeming advantage or benefit of this issue in your life? What is one seeming advantage or benefit, even if it's not, but it appears to be? And let it come like short sentence. Or another way is to put it, what do I get out of subconsciously maintaining this? Anybody has something crisp, you can say it. Can you say it? Anybody who has it?
Not being seen in my messy bits.
Yeah, so one advantage is not being seen in your messy bits. Okay, you identify the thought. Now, welcome any memories, images, sensations about what you just said. Just staying awake. Whatever comes, don't get involved. Don't argue with it. If there's any feeling, sensation, fully allow it. And then notice also that this sense of being here now, this sense of aware silence, tune into that. And all the feelings, the energies, they are moving into this aware silence. And allowing for things to settle a bit. If you do this online later and my tempo is too fast and you still have stuff to come up, you can pause me and stay until things settle. Right. So looking at the item again, what is one disadvantage, cost of maintaining that thing, of that pattern? What is one disadvantage of maintaining that subconsciously? No matter how irrational. I mean, actually, this is pretty rational, actually. That the disadvantage is pretty obvious. So whatever thought came, allow any feeling or memory or sensation, any other thoughts connected to that, and just witness. If it's yucky, feel the yuckiness. And staying as this witnessing presence. Yeah. Yeah, so just allowing whatever comes and also notice the sense of being that is aware of this stuff. And as things settle, take a moment to notice just being here. And then let's go back to the other side. What is another seeming advantage? Another seeming advantage of that story or that pattern? Something you are getting or something that you are avoiding. And whatever came, acknowledge it and welcome any energies in the body, memories about what just came up. Whatever comes cannot hurt you. Whatever arises is not you. It's a temporary arising. You are aware of it. And take a moment to come back to base, being aware. And then go on the other side. What is another disadvantage? What are we losing through maintaining that unconsciously? What's the cost of that thing? Yeah, let it come like spontaneously, innocently, vulnerably. Whatever thought comes, what's another disadvantage? And then welcome any energy, sensation, anything else around what just came up. Give full permission for these energies to be there. Staying as the awakeness that perceives these energies and these thoughts. Allowing things to naturally settle. Yeah, if you have a limiting belief, let's say if the item you're investigating is a limiting belief or a deficiency story, you can pull up your mom or whoever to be there if it makes it come up more crisp. Yeah. And somebody asked online, so coming back to, I forgot where I was. Is it now another advantage? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's do one more round. What is another seeming advantage? Another, I'm getting something, avoiding something, seemingly. Of maintaining this pattern or deficiency story. Whatever comes, just being awake to that thought and allowing any other emotional, memory, sensation, content connected with that thought. And doing nothing about them. Just noticing and notice that you are not any of these energies or thoughts. You are this awakeness. And take a moment to come back to this here and now, breathing, felt sense of the air on your skin. And take a moment to acknowledge the okayness in the background. Let's do one more thing here. What is one other disadvantage of maintaining that pattern or belief or whatever this is? What's another disadvantage? Cost. And see what it says. But don't stop there. Welcome any energy about that, feeling about that, or memory. As they appear themselves to the awakeness that you are. I mean, I'm doing it pretty fast here, and I don't have a pulse on every one of you. So if you're doing it online, you know, and I'm too fast, you can pause. And the idea is to, when one item comes, to witness, and to witness also emotion, feel, until they settle a little bit. Then go into the other one, yeah? I forgot to say, so witness until it settles. You know, like those snow globes that you stir. There's an Eiffel Tower and then there's snow coming or whatever. So we are allowing the snow to settle. Yeah, so at this point, zoom out from any sensation, zoom out from any inquiry, and coming back to just being, perceiving. Noticing the aware space in which these feelings and sensations appear as bubbles that stay as the presence that we are. Yeah, so I will stop here, you know, for timing purposes, but this is a good exercise to do, you know, on your own. You can do multiple, 4, 5, 6, up to a point where you're like, it's like, okay. Somehow there is this like, okay. Some more like, more settled, more, the mind is more quiet. And I see some of you took notes and all of that. I'm not a big fan of that, but some people I know it helps them a lot. And actually, what is very helpful, because all the items that came, they are full of information, so one can process some of the A column, you know. Yeah. But I would like now to, yeah, I want to hear